Welcome back to Witch on the Holy Night. If I remember correctly, we're doing the archives and the extra, right? After we finish the chapter, we got like 2 extra books. Yes. So we have, I don't know how to pronounce that word, case 8.5. We did whiteboard last time and we ended it off on that. Now, are we doing the extra? I wonder what this is going to be. These are probably going to be very short, I'd hope. But yeah, that being said, chapter 8.5. Han Mo no something. I can't read kanji. No, come on, why you guys do this every time? Like, you're allowing me to. I'm uploading the videos and I'm not getting copyright strikes. So why you guys be doing that? Like, what? No matter how busy one is, any person living within human means is certain to have at least some free time. Let them know, bro. Can you? I'm sorry. All right. Before and after eating, for example. It's difficult to eliminate the time required to prepare a meal and the time after one finishes eating. This is particularly the case for those who do a lot of thinking. Since the body needs to use energy to digest after eating, there's less available for the brain to use. Let them know, man. Nikkei?
アテナの
I'm
持って
sorry.
る盾じゃなくて小さな勝利の女神の方。陸上競技に勝つってイメージじゃない？
All right, before we get into this chapter, can we like have a little discussion? This is mini about that thing. Yeah, everyone has free time. Let's be honest. There are time, maybe not free time to build a car. Like, no one's saying that wild stuff. You have free time to sit down and think or whatever. All right, that's all I'm saying. All right.
さすがブランドヒントが大好きな
Oh
青子
God.
さん。どうでもいい知識だけはそれなりっすね。
The studious resident of the mansion was now taking refuge on the sofa, looking exhausted. Akko was talking to the robin perched on the table. The blue bird flapped its wings, doing its best to join in on the after-dinner conversation. I'm sorry. I haven't seen Alice since the last recording, hit. Alice was reading in the sunroom. All right, hold on. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me. Last time I did read on my monitor. This time I'm reading on my TV, so maybe that's why. But does this game just look better? Like, is it just me? Or is this chapter just, like, redrawn, like, to a different extent? Like, the shading, like, oh, all right, whatever. It's flowers. Discussion of how to deal with the encroaching enemy mage wouldn't start for at least another 30 minutes.
じゃあアディダスはもしかしてアディオスの文字りっすか？
あれは普通に名前じゃなかったっけ？
No way, man. It just looks better, right? No, it has to be me. Because, yeah, again, last time I read on my monitor, which is 1080p, and this is, a 4K TV, not to flex on anyone, it's pretty findable, but I don't know, it looks better to me. Maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments.
ほら、グリム童話みたいに作った兄弟の名前がそのままブランド名になっちゃったのよ。
ブラザーグリムは童話を作ったわけじゃないわ。埋もれていた口伝を収集して物語に仕立て直して丁寧に編纂した人たちよ。職人というより学者の類ね。まあ多少は詐欺師めいたところもあるけれど。
Hey, I was about to say that's what they sound like to me.
へえ。じゃあアンデルセンは？人魚姫とか親指姫とか超メジャーだけど。あと醜いアヒルの子。
自分裸の王様とかたまんないっす。シンパシー感じるっすよ。あのクリスタルキングに。
アンデルセンは学者というより作家でしょうね。彼の創作意欲は裕福層や大衆、平凡な幸福を得ている人々、果ては女性像への憤りから生まれたものだと言われているし、知的好奇心から筆を取ったのではなく、感情を訴えるために筆を取った人。あまりこういう説明はしたくないのだけれど、それぞれ分けて説明するなら、マザーグースは歌、ブラザーグリムは物語、アンデルセンは偶話ね。
ミツバチマッチはアニメっすね。ところで青子さん、アシックスの由来は何すか？
これは私も小学校の頃友達に聞いたものなんで真偽はわからないんだけど、アシックスってもともと3つの会社が合併してできた会社なのよ。で3社の社長が集まると足が6本になるじゃない。だから足シックス、あくまで俗説だけどね。
I'm sorry, what are we talking about? I literally just got lost. What? Alice had dropped her book on the floor of the sunroom and was biting her lip. She was clearly trying to feign calm and breathe as if nothing had happened. She thought she was doing a convincing job of it. All right, listen, I had to do this one more time. Come on, it even sounds better. Am I having rose tinted glasses on? It even sounds better. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my brain is on a different wavelength than it was the other day. I don't know. It was closer towards, I told you it was 12 when I was recording. So maybe because it's earlier in the day, maybe I'm feeling a lot better. Holy crap. Everything.
あの子の笑いのツボもわかんないわね。
それはどうすかね。あんまりにもつまんなかったから怒ってるのかもしれないっす。だってアリスさん、怒り浸透しても笑顔になるんすよ。自分たまに見るっす。アリスさんの日記を盗み見てると後ろでそういう顔してるっす。それ以上見ると死ぬわよって。でも勘弁してほしいっす。見ちゃうものは見ちゃうっすよ。自分からそこ調査を取ったらもう基礎本能しか残らない気もするっす。
The Robin felt compelled to give a counter argument for some reason. Akko let out a sigh. Even Alice sympathized with her over the difficult familiar. Is it the guy? Is it the star of the show? Ooh-wee! Welcome home. It was at this time that Sojiro returned. He must have just gotten home from his part-time job.
おかえり、お疲れ様。
Akko's warm welcome was quite the opposite from the faint response from the sunroom.
夕食は済ませてきたからいらないよ。じゃあ夜のバイトに備えてちょっと寝てくれ。
Sojiro still gave Alice a wave as he left. The dull thud of something dropping was heard as he returned to the hallway.
おーい、なんか落ちたわよ。
Akko peeked out from the sofa to yell for Sojiro.
ああ、ポケットに入れっぱなしだった。
Sojiro calmly and naturally walked back to pick up what looked to be some kind of envelope. Perhaps it was instinct, but the human eye was drawn to motion, even if it was something one had no personal interest in. True. Akko keenly followed Sojiro's hand with her eye. All right, one more time. I'm sorry. Oh my God, Sojiro, run. Run. Run, my boy, run. She had to restrain herself from shouting her thoughts out loud as she leaped up from the sofa. I thought it was his Saihu at first, but I guess it's something like it. What's wrong?
どうしたってその。
Akko found it difficult to come up with a proper response to the pure, innocent eyes staring back at her. If I pronounced that word wrong, I'm going to get so embarrassed. If that's not even the word I was probably looking for, maybe not, I don't know. She was ashamed at how she had jumped up at the enticing sight of so much money.
そうよね。普通にアルバイトの給料日よね。にしても結構もらってんのね、あんた。
There was an awkward pause before Sojiro smiled and returned back to his room. Akko sat back down on the sofa, still feeling a bit awkward. This was what set it all off. It began a series of events that the Robin would later name the Doge Affair. It was the next day, and around the same time as the previous day's incident. Ako was coming to pour some tea, I'm so sorry, and relax when she heard Sojiro and the Robin engaged in some kind of debate in the drawing room.
その人が言うには、人と会うたびに小さな親切を尽くしてあげるべきだと。そうして一日が終わったら、その親切が何をもたらしたかよく噛み締めなさいって。たった一回の言葉だけの親切でも相手にとっては大きな意味があるんだそうだ。それが思いもよらない幸福を運んでくる。
うは、だから自分にビーフジャーキーくれたっすか？でもそれ親切じゃなくて袖の下っていう伝統芸能じゃないっすかね。アンダーハート見え見えっす。
Sojiro's serious demeanor was more like a consultation. I don't know why I said it like that. Consultation. Or a proposal than it was idle chatter.
まああいつが妙なのはいつものことか。
Ako decided to ignore what was going on in the drawing room and head straight for the sunroom. There, she saw Sojiro's coat on the chair.
ちょっと宗十郎、コート置きっぱなしじゃない。今のコート掛けか自分の部屋に持って行って。
She stopped herself mid-sentence. She's about to grab all that money. Please don't. No. I told him to run. She could see the same kind of envelope that Sojiro had dropped on the ground yesterday inside his coat pocket. And it was even thicker than the one she saw the day before. That's what happens when you accumulate money. She wouldn't allow herself to make a spectacle about it like she did yesterday. She reminded herself that she was a model student and a student council president.
さーて、紅茶紅茶っと。
Feigning, yeah. Wait, I'm an idiot. Alright, I have to bring up something from an older episode. Listen. I recall Ako saying her grandfather was dead. And then in a later chapter, talking about how her grandfather needs to stop coming around or something opposite like that, or like whenever he saw. I remember bringing up, didn't she say her grandfather was dead? Bro, you have two grandfathers. I'm such an idiot. I don't know. I thought this is kind of wild, but I thought your grandfather is dead. How come you didn't get any inheritance money? I don't know. That's what I thought of. Like she's acting so broke. But then I thought about that when she had said that her grandfather was dead, and then later on her talking about her grandfather in a way that made him seem like he was alive. Bro, you have two grandpas. Like, I'm so dumb. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I gotta take a break. I gotta go downstairs, bro. I gotta go somewhere. I gotta take a walk. Bro, you have two grandfathers. I've been playing too many Dragon Ball games. I need a Death Note game to drop so I can get my intellect up. That being said, let's move on. Sojiro was still in deep conversation with the Robin. Oh, I just feel so stupid. Perhaps he hadn't heard her calls.
都会の孤独は万人に平等だ。一見して身勝手な暴力じみた押し着せの善意も長い目で見ればその人のためになる。
なるほど。親切の押し付けには一銭もかからないっすからね。
うん。ただより高いものはないって言うけどね。
どっちっすかこのシャバゾン。
Ako was so intent on eavesdropping, she completely forgotten that she had come to pour a cup of tea. There was no way she could ignore such a suspicious conversation.
こうも言うんだ。幸福になりたければ、初めは恨まれてもいいと。やれ金を返せだの詐欺師だの言われても、いずれその人のためになると分かっていれば、心を鬼にできる。
I agree. I heavily agree with that. That's like kind of a part of the reason that I don't use face cam or anything like that, and you guys don't know my name, and I don't delve into my real life, is because I don't want people to be like, oh, person behind the camera is so cool or whatever. You don't know me, right? You know Youth versus the World. That's the guy that you should thank. That's the guy that you guys should talk about or be happy for. Not me, the person behind the mic. I don't matter. You know, I've always been trying to push the narrative of the community, or like Youth versus the World, I don't want any of the fame for myself, or even that being said, there is no fame. No one ever comments or joins my live streams. But yeah, that I completely agree with. You shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter to you whether you're hated or loved for you to do what you do. You should do it because you feel like it's the right thing, not just for yourself, but for everyone. So I completely agree with that. That's why I'll never use Facecam. You guys will never know my name. Maybe if I plan on going to Evo. I'm probably not going to go under the name Youth versus the World, but I need to come up with another moniker before I go. So maybe one day you guys will find out who I am. But at the end of the day, it's always been my, I guess, dream to have a sort of a platform where it's you guys are celebrating Youth versus the World and not me, the person talking. But that's some other thing that goes deep into it. But I've had some people ask for face cam or some stuff like that, and that's the reason. It's not because I'm against face cam. I don't think it looks good, whatever, or I'm ugly. I mean, perhaps you'll never know. Perhaps I am ugly, but that doesn't matter to me at all, right? It's the principle of what I have just said. So if you ever ask me, why does he use face cam? Why can't I see his face? Why doesn't he have an Instagram or something with pictures up? That's the reason. Because I don't want you guys to know me. I want you guys to know Youth versus the World. But that being said, let's keep going.
人に尽くしている喜びが後ろめたさとか帳消しにするらしい。
それ知ってるっす。でも微妙に違うような。
Akko agreed with the Robin in this case. Sojiro is referring to the words of a famous entrepreneur. If we want to find happiness, let's stop thinking about gratitude or ingratitude and give for the inner joy of giving. That was the actual quote.
あるいはこうとも。貯金のある人はその富を温存するよりも会社がより豊かになるために使うべきだと。
それも知ってるっす。でももう完全に違うような。
Akko's becoming upset with how much she agreed with the Robin at this point. This was a quote from an even more famous entrepreneur. Surplus wealth is a sacred trust, which its possessors bound to administer in his lifetime for the good of the community. Can't bring the money to the grave, basically. This was how that one was supposed to go. Whoops, misclick.
信じられるのはお金だけなのかもしれない。だって奥さんも子供もずっと一緒にいてくれるわけじゃない。不幸な事故で先立たれることだってある。でもお金は別だった。お金で幸福は買えないけど、幸福はお金になる。今は人の親切と温かい布団があればそれでいいと、その人は言った。
なんか無性にらしくないこと言ってるわね、あいつ。
Though his words were a bit strange and worrisome, Akko couldn't spend much time worrying about it. She didn't have the capacity to worry about anyone else right now. Her battle with the enemy mage was always lurking just beneath the surface.
どっちにしろ、私には関係ないか。
Akko shrugged it off and turned her attention away from the drawing room. She told herself that she would forget about all this commotion by tomorrow anyway.
Tadaima.
So you swear. Oh my god. This is like a series. I'm sorry. It's like every time Alice is on screen, I'm just like, it's her again? The main character? Come on, chill. Sojiro was back from his job with a smile on his face again today. Work truly was its own reward. I felt that so heavily. Oh my god. His mood was infectious, and Akko smiled back while relaxing on the sofa.
はい、お疲れ様。休んでていいわよ。今日は昼からずっとバイトだったんでしょ？夕飯ならこれから作って何？
Her smile suddenly turned frigid.
ん？
Ooh, the
どうした
silhouette.
青崎。 木の実の冗談を聞いた時みたいな顔して。
どうしたじゃない。いい加減黙っていられなくなった。いいからそのポケットのもん出しなさい。
うん。
Sojiro reached in and pulled out the contents of his pockets without knowing why he was being scolded. God damn. Oh my god. He's on New Game Plus. My boy is actually on New Game Plus. He placed the now all too familiar brown envelope on the table. It was far too thick to be that of an normal envelope. It was bright, enticing, almost magical. There was nothing else it could be than a stack of cash.
まあ、これはどうしたの、しずきくん。
Alice innocently asked Sojiro. She was a bit dazzled by the sight, but there was no mistaking it for an illusion.
バイト代だよ。
そう。それはいいことだわ。明日はごちそうね。
This girl is literally in a mansion. She owns a mansion. Oh man. Oh. The two remain calm despite the abnormally large wad of cash before them. That being said, the one with the most common sense in the house finally had to speak up. The Robin?
なわけないでしょ。ちょっと宗十郎、そこに正座。どういうことか説明なさい。
Can't tell her you're on New Game Plus. That's some Super Runatsuki stuff, bro. You can't have that happen, bro. I'm not gonna spoil the show. I'm sorry. She knew more than anyone how serious this was. Wait, what? She?
説明
Or
っ
he?
て
I'm sorry.
何をだ。
Okay, it was probably she.
決まってるでしょ。この札束の正体よ。あんた今何やってんの？どう考えてもまっとうな職種とは思えないんですけど。
Bro works like 40 jobs. He works like 30,000 jobs, bro. You turn the corner, he's working there, bro. My man's was working at an abandoned amusement park. Like, he works everywhere. He makes
まっ
money.
とうだぞ。この新しいバイトは少なくとも法には触れていないと聞いた。ちゃんとやれば危ない目にも合わない。コンビニエンスストアより割がいいし、俺でも簡単にできるという。
Unbelievable. Akko was just about dizzy with rage at this point. At least not illegal. That's like when an obviously drunk person tries to contend that they are indeed quite the contrary.
正気に戻れ。日ごとお金が倍々に増えていくバイトなんてあるわけないでしょ。いいから仕事の内容を言いなさい。内容を。あんたどう考えても騙されてるから。
Sojiro kept his mouth shut. He didn't seem to be threatened by Akko's reprimands.
ダメだ。いくら青崎でも教えられない。あんまり人に話すことでもない。でも安心してくれ。分類的にはちょっとした人助けと言えるだろう。あと紹介してくれた人とは一度しか会ってないし、支払いは常に現金だ。
この田舎バカ、その文脈からして怪しすぎるんだっていうの。
Akko stamped her foot in frustration. But who could blame her after hearing the standard lines for a scam? It's a new job. The pay is good. Anyone can do it. And I'm not supposed to talk about it. Despite all of that, Sojiro was still refusing to spill the beans. They hadn't known each other for that long, but Akko was well aware of Sojiro's personality. Steadfast explained him well. Once he made a decision, nothing could make him change his mind about it. At times like this, it was near impossible to get him to talk.
厄介な。
Akko backed off, realizing it would be a challenge to get him to say anything at this point. Sojiro couldn't figure out what it was upsetting her.
なんで青崎は怒ってるんだ。
Akko decided to give up on getting anything useful out of him.
そんなうまい話はないからよ。アリスもそう思うでしょ。
What job has Alice worked? I'm curious.
そうね。青子の言いたいことはわからないけど、しずきくんはもっとやるべきだと思う。
And so, Alice contributed absolutely nothing useful. What did you expect? Ako collapsed onto the
Ozaki.
sofa.
いいわよもう。よくわかんない理由で話す気ないんでしょ、宗十郎は。考えてみれば、あんたなんてただの同居人なわけだし、私があれこれ文句言う筋合いはなかったわ。
Ako shooed Sojiro away with her hand. Unfortunately, she wasn't going to be able to sit there and stew like she wanted to. She couldn't just ignore this problem like Alice.
あいつはどう見ても騙されてるし、最終的にとばっちり食らうのは私だし。
She needed to be bold and make him quit this new job of his immediately. Sorry. It was what a true friend would do, and was also her duty as a student council president. However, Ako started to think otherwise. Morals and clear conscience were important, sure. But for a student living solely off their parents' generosity, that kind of money was hard to pass up.
そうね。最終的に辞めさせるのは絶対にしても、これまで稼いだお金を捨てるのはもったいないし。仕方ない。ここは絡めてでいくか。
The wicked, scheming student council president sank deeper into the sofa. Her ability to play things by ear and her miserly nature, miserly? I don't know. Nature were both her strongest and weakest points. The next day, noon. Ako waited until her roommates were gone, then picked up the phone.
もしもし、
before-
飛び丸？宗十郎がこんなことになってるんだけど、あんた心当たりない？
The sound of the first train leaving the station could be heard far off in the distance. This was the time of morning when the town was deciding if it felt like waking up or not. Tobimaro Tsukiji was having a walk down the city streets at sunrise, enjoying the fresh, crisp morning air.
ほんと、街ってのは人間がいないだけで綺麗なもんだ。
The crowd had become a common complaint of Tobimaro's. To him, the tacky, over-decorated street corners were the embodiments of human desire. At this time of day, the streets were nothing like the circus tents of activity they usually were. The main street was completely empty. It was like a lonely, tranquil morning after a festival. Oh God. Okay, it's an Amber Alert. I got so scared. Whew. Well, I guess I damn. Hold on. Hey, shout outs to somebody help the person, please. I don't know. What do you do, man? Like Amber Alert, like who? Man, that seemed like a real. Edit that out. Wearing men in black were busy cleaning up and restoring order in the bars after the previous night. Not reading that. Around the back entrance of the local restaurants, the kitchen crew were. Oh my God, is somebody calling me now? That's what I thought it was before. That's why I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to edit the recording anyway. And then it was Amber Alert and I could talk about it and have fun. Now I actually have to edit. I'm back. Where was I? Around the back entrance of local restaurants, the kitchen crew. No, I already read that. No, I didn't. Kitchen crew were busy bringing in their daily ingredients while stifling back tired yawns. Wow, yawning is really contagious, bro. I'm trying not to. It's okay. We're good. Birds carelessly wandered the streets. There wasn't even the sound of a single car engine to be heard. This was a uniquely refreshing sensation that could only be felt from a city morning. It existed somewhere between daily life and exciting entertainment. This was the only time of day when the bustling modern world stepped aside for a slower, more nostalgic pace. Oh, Tobimaro, don't do this to me. Don't. Tobimaro searched through his coat pocket, but only found some old receipts. He was rearranging the scarf around his neck to keep the cold wind at bay. Meandering through the city streets, he'd only ended up at Central Park just as the morning magic began to fade. His stroll had no particular purpose. It wasn't for his health or anything like that. He was merely making his way home after a night out in the town.
バカらしい。何やってんだか。
Man, please see the full fit. Tobimaro had a moment of unabashed self-reflection as he drank a can of vending machine coffee. I really should have grabbed some water. He didn't particularly hate partying all night long, but it was pretty boring since he still wasn't old enough to drink alcohol. He'd been at it for a few days now, thinking it was at least better than being at home. But he was quickly growing bored of it. See, now that there's no music, I could easily make an edit that you guys won't even like realize.
年末に親戚筋が集まるのは仕方がねえし。
He grinned wearily at his own lame excuse. Stay hydrated, guys. Screw coffee, drink water. It was true that he was out wasting time like this because he didn't really have a place to go home at the moment. The Tsukuji family always had a congregation of relatives over on New Year's Day, as per his grandfather's orders. This was why his siblings and other relatives had been staying over at the Tsukiji home for a few days now. If Tobimaru was there, he'd just provide fuel for the fire. He decided to avoid the family drama and not go home while everyone was there. Show me the outfit. Stop playing. They just greet him with insults anyway. And if someone tried to start a fight, he knew he wouldn't be able to resist the bait. It would only cause even more resentment and trouble for his father. So, for Tobimaru, there was nothing more pointless or less enticing than getting involved in his siblings' squabbles over the inheritance. Ooh. Tobimaru Tsukiji was the fifth born son to the Tsukiji family. Or is it Tsukiji? I don't know. Maybe it's faster. I don't think it makes a difference. Which owned multiple plots of land in Misaki City. However, most of that land had been acquired after the war. Before that, they had been a minor noble family on the brink of ruin. The man who built the Tsukiji family into its current glory was Kimi Kuni Tsukiji, Tobimaru's grandfather and the current patriarch. Kimi Kuni married into the struggling Tsukiji family and saved them after they lost all their power during the war. The Tsukiji clan were local Shinto clergy and relied upon Kimi Kuni's financial assets. Kimi Kuni, on the other hand, had leveraged clan connections to establish himself. I was like, what? Yo, my mind is seeing what it wants to in Misaki City. I was like, wait, huh? While both parties came together for mutual gain, the Tsukiji family failed to recognize just how ambitious Kimi Kuni was when they accepted him into the family. He wasn't the obedient son-in-law they had imagined. He was he had grand plans of his own, growing and developing industries within Misaki City and many other areas as well. Kimi Kuni controlled all these areas, not as a member of the Tsukiji family, but under his own name. A castle's greatest defense was its moat, not the walls. Kimi Kuni bridged the moat. It was the economic equivalent of starving out the enemy. Kimi Kuni's financial might subdued the noble Tsukiji's family completely. In less than 10 years, there was no one in the family who could stand up against him. This businessman, accepted into the family as a mere son-in-law, had seized the Tsukiji name and the entirety of the family fortune. However, Kimi Kuni had fathered many children. He would not allow the Tsukiji bloodline to die out. That was also the only way to maintain the family fortune. His 3 sons and 1 daughter all married relatives. His 3 sons and 1 daughter all married relatives of the Tsukiji. His 3 sons, 1, 2, 3, 1 daughter, 1 married relatives. relatives, meaning that they have the same blood, meaning this is relatives. Born into the same family, meaning 1 + 2 equal. Tobimaru was the 5th son of Hitoyoshi Tsukiji, Kimikuni's eldest son. Interesting. However, his mother was not a member of the family. Tobimaru was the result of a fling with a mistress. Akechi? Pancakes? That ignoble birth defined his place in the family. He was his father's love child. Although the family's dignity was somehow maintained since he was the son of Hitoyoshi, it wasn't difficult to imagine the level of mistreatment Tobimaru faced from his siblings and other relatives. Being raised in such a hostile environment made Tobimaru grow up far faster than he should have. His ability to think quick and objectively was honed naturally within this challenging environment. Show don't tell? However, those exact traits also brought Tobimaru a great deal of trouble. Kimikuni Tsukiji. I feel like I was saying ku instead of ki. Unfortunately, against all odds, the great leader of the Tsukiji family favored Tobimaru over everyone else, including his eldest son. Since Kimikuni had been a commoner himself, he did not believe in blood inheritance alone. Fire. To make matters worse, not a single coin from his great fortune had been given to any of his sons yet. Wow. The most loathsome thing in this world is the blood of the Tsukiji family. I never would have had any of you if I could have helped it. Those words were spoken at every family gathering, and they were the absolute truth. He'd taken a liking to Tobimaru after speaking with him at these annual family gatherings, and enjoyed playing chess with him in his spare time ever since. Everyone in the family was worried Kimikuni would name Tobimaru his successor. In this way, Tobimaru had gone from being worthless to a threat in the eyes of Kimikuni's sons. Wow. The son who felt the most fear and hatred was Tobimaru's own father, Hitoyoshi, who would have been the unquestionable heir as the eldest son. And this was how Tobimaru became estranged from his father. They no longer even lived in the same house. Hitoyoshi always acted like they were a great father-son relationship. They had a great father-son relationship in front of Kimikuni. But that would only last until his father was no longer around, or until Tobimaru was officially named heir. When that happened, it would be an all-out war. In any case, it would not be a pleasant story. Woo! Okay, with the scarf? Hold on. Popping the collar like a G? Yo, no excuses for Melty Blood. I'm sorry. Melty Blood has no excuses. Tsukihime got no excuses. Come on. This is still Type Moon. This is in the same universe. This is literally like a prequel to that. Why is this man dripped out? But y'all couldn't give this to I can't remember man's name. Shiki. Beyond me. Tobimaru scratched his head in frustration. That being said, again, I have no clue how much this game is remastered. If it's like everything is drawn from the ground up, or if they took like cells from the old visual novel and just redrew that. I have no clue. If they just touched it up, I actually have no clue. So this could be an entirely new character design. I don't know. I guess if I'm taking it from like the Tsukihime remake perspective, then yeah, it's like completely remade. But other than that, I have zero clue of how much of this stuff is new, how much of this stuff has been ported over from the old visual novel. I have no clue. Some of you guys can let me know in the comments if you are. I mean, the game was never in English, or the visual novel was never in English, so the amount of people that have read it is probably slim to none. But if you guys are out there, let me know how much of this game is new or visual novel. Let me know if there's any new features, whatever. I don't know, right? He really wasn't all that worried, though. In public, it looked like they had a good father-son relationship. In private, they were in the midst of a bitter inheritance dispute. Things had always been that way, even before he met Kimikuni. The only difference was that his sole protector, his father, was now his mortal enemy. Tobimaro had always been at odds with his family. His father was just one more enemy to add to that pile. Staying out all night like this was Tobimaro's way of avoiding his family. If he was home, he knew they would try to gauge his feelings. Whoops. However, they wouldn't openly attack him now. Even the relatives who looked down on him and his siblings who had bullied him as a child, the worst they would do was make snide remarks. Snide, my bad. Tobimaro at his core was a peaceful person. Tobimaro was at his core a peaceful person. I'm sorry, I was getting hydrated, you know, I had to, whatever. Who preferred to avoid trouble whenever possible. Petty revenge or stepping up to Kimikuni's expectations weren't on his to-do list. His father's worries were unfounded. His relatives were getting riled up for no reason. Tobimaro had no intention of stepping out his role as a prodigal son. However, his siblings, who were around the same age as him, held a different kind of resentment. Perhaps they felt guilty for tormenting him all those years. Perhaps it was the result of their roles being reversed. He's going to get back at us someday. They lived in such fear of this that they didn't dare ignore Tobimaro. So, my question is, we're learning all this lore and backstory. Why couldn't we learn it in an actual scenario or situation? I get Tobimaro is not that important in the grand scheme of things, of course. But if we have time to have extra volumes and 8.5s, why not actually delve deeper into his character, right? Like the show don't tell thing, right? Like I understand, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I'd rather see this situation happen. Like I'd rather see Tobimaro with all his siblings and how they treat him and all that extra corporate stuff and how his grandfather looks. Like I'd rather have that happen in a scene than you just tell it to me, because I don't understand where this scene is going, where we're watching him walk down the street. It's like, okay, what we were, this is the same like chapter where we were just talking about the money and all that with Sojiro. Like what's going on, right? Like where does all this information come in? Like why do I need to know any of this, you know?
そのくせ根回しはうまくねえときた。青崎ぐらいの大胆さで突っ込んでくるんならまだスリルがあるってもんだがな。
His family problems were simply a chore. They never really worried him much. If that's the case, then again, why do I have to know about all this? Like, what's the point? I don't know. He was used to human malice. Although he nearly died from the physical abuse of his siblings. Even though someone had once tried to kill him with true murderous intent. Even though he had been exposed to how the elite, untouchable class of society treated others by his eldest brother. It was all such a pain in the ass. These were all events that would change a person's outlook on life, but he always remained quiet. Again, if that's the case, why tell me this story if it didn't change him? What's the point? Why tell me this story if we're gonna start or end where we started? I don't know what that was all about, but that was just how things were for Tobimaro. He had grown bored of his relatives getting worked up over everything.
まあ、そのあたりは人それぞれか。親父殿には同情するけどな。あのじいさんの息子なんて波の根性じゃ務まらねえ。
Tobimaro honestly couldn't care less. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. It doesn't make a difference. Could not care less about who would be the next heir. He had no clear plans for the future yet. His only real goal was to wash his hands of his family and start fresh when he became an adult. Why should I care? I like Tobimaro already. I didn't need to know any of this. This doesn't help his case. I don't care. I don't understand what's going on. Until then, everything that happened was his life experience. He continued his morning walk, thinking it was better to enjoy the nightlife now, while he was still young. Someone was already sitting on the bench when Tobimaro entered the plaza. The crows gathered there flew off at his approach. On the bench sat a girl dressed in black. A well-dressed old man with a cane sat next to her. Hold on. Is it gonna be him? Yurihiko? Ooh, maybe. What happened to Ritsuka? I miss her. She was so fun. What happened to her? Like, she came in, did her little thing, and then never appeared again. She was fun. It looks like we have a few more characters to meet too. Like, who the hell is this? This looks just like Alco. The hair looks just like Alco. I know Alco has a sister. I don't know who this could be. All right, interesting, intriguing. That being said, is it the old dude? These were familiar faces, so he approached the bench and say hello. It's him! The old man and girl looked as if they were grandfather and granddaughter. Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. He seemed like a kind old man spending time with his grandchild. However, the truth was,
アリス、僕は今でも思うんだ。考えられるサービスはすべて実現させた。従業員への感謝も来園者への笑顔も忘れたことはない。
this song is so good.
なのに時代は僕を選ばなかった。それどころか僕の内なる芸術性を否定した。無念だ。死ぬがいい。腐った魚のようなマスコミどもめ。何が悪夢のクリーチャーか。あんな夢にまで見そうなマスコットが他にあるだろうか。やるまい。なのに連中と来たらネズミを二足歩行させれば満足ときた。そもそも犬をペットにする齧歯類とか冷静に考えたら怖いぞ。動物が動物をペットにするなんてモラルが低いにも程がある。あそこはやはり人間をペットにするべきじゃないんだろうか。
Sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. All I'm saying, Disney's trash. Release Kingdom Hearts 4. Actually, this poor young woman was getting an earful from this. He looks so happy. He looks so happy. This old man. After his outburst, he paused for a moment.
いや、これは失礼。ゆりひこよ、紳士たれ。
He scolded himself and hung his head.
答えてくれ、アリス。一体僕のキッツイちゃんは何がいけなかったんだ。
He's the Kitsy. Wasn't Kitsy just a bear, bro? What are you talking about? Wasn't Kitsy just a bear? You were just what?
角よ。角をつけるべきだったのよ。
She's spitting. The girl in black returned the old man. Why do I suck at using a controller? The girl in black returned the old man's solemn bow with a grin answer of her own.
いや、角はいけない。子供たちが怪我をしてしまうからね。僕は傷をつけるなら体ではなく心にしたい。
The girl nodded deeply, thinking over the implications of what this old man just said.
さて、
Tobimaru didn't realize what he was getting, or didn't really want to get involved, but he was already too close. If he passed by without saying anything, the old man would certainly make a fuss.
こんちは。こんな朝っぱらからじくじく公開中かい。時津のじいさん。いつまでも引きずってると死に損なうぜ。さっさと往生して息子たちを安心させてやんな。
No way. There's no way this dude said it's about time you passed on to a better place. You can't be saying things like that, bro.
Oh, yeah.
What?
どこの悪ガキかと思えば豊かの子供か。おはよう、トビー。君も相変わらず早起きだね。
俺は朝帰りですよ。お二人みたいに健康的じゃない。そら、クオンジのお嬢さんもおはようさん。
The girl looked up calmly at Tobimaru's greeting. It was none other than the witch on the hill, Alice Kuonji.
こうしてまともに挨拶するのは2年前のパーティー以来か。 何にせよ珍しいな。あんたがお付きなしで町に降りてきてるなんてよ。
そうでもないわ。この時間の公園は鳥を入れ替えるのにちょうどいいから。
ほう、
Sorry.
そりゃ驚いた。箱入り娘じゃなかったのかあんた。
ええ。その証拠にあなたがひどい顔で歩いているのを何度か見かけたわ。遊び歩くのは結構だけど、青子に迷惑かけないよう気をつけなさい。
ご忠告どうも。肝に銘じておくよ。
Despite their casual greeting, Tomimaro and Alice rarely interacted, though their fathers were acquainted. Even so, the histories and spheres of influence of the two families were very different. Though the Tsukijis held sway in Misaki City, the Konjis influenced the whole of Japan. Oops. Normally, someone like Tomimaro would not be in the same social circles as Alice. The only reason they could interact like this at all was because they were both friends with Aoko Alasaki.
若菜。トビー、君はアリスと友人関係だったのか。もしかして二人はステディな関係だとか言うまいな。やめたまえ。言ったら大ごとになるぞトビー。僕は心臓麻痺で急死しかねない。犯人は君であり、凶器はアリスだ。無論死因はこう書いてくれ。そう聞くも無情な恋の病と。
クオンジのお嬢さんはどうしてこんなダメ老人と？俺と同じ親父関係の付き合いか？
この人とはペンフレンド。分不相応にいいアンティークを持っているから、青子と二人で少しずつ取り上げているの。
Despite this being one of the only times they'd really talked, Tomimaro and Alice both managed to completely ignore the old man.
参ったな。アリスは照れ隠しもチャーミングだ。ところで、僕のことはユーリヒと呼んでくれていいんだよ。
Mr. Tokitsu gently took Alice's hands. Alice feigned to remain neutral, like a doll's.
トッキー、私、いい絵付けのティーカップを探しているの。1900年代のラム工房のものとか。どうかしら。
あるとも。もちろんあるとも。今度おっかないお友達と遊びに来るときまでに用意しておこう。
He responded to her request like an obedient marionette.
おいらくの恋って柄かよ。よくもまあ寝台潰さなかったもんだ。突版は。
You see, the old man was none other than Yurihiko Tokitsu. He was famous in Yashidoki as the former head of Tokitsu Banking Company, with factories all across Japan. He still served as an advisor.
老人とはなんだ。芸術家にとっての老いとは感性の凍結であり、しかるに我が心の火は絶えていない。僕はまだ暑苦しいくらいに若いんだ。つぼみのような少女と恋を語らう楽しみは残っているさ。この年になるともう世間体とかどうでもよくてね。女の子と話すことだけが人生の意味になるんだぞ。
This character is no longer interesting to me.
若いのかじいさんなのかどっちなんだよ。
おっと、失言。最後の方のは聞き流してくれ。僕が言いたいのは、女の子と穏やかな時間を過ごすのは最高ってことさ。トビー、そういうの君も好きだろ？
一緒にしないでください。あいにく俺は年上好みですよ。おまけに言うなら、二回り以上も年下の女に欲情する趣味もねえわけで。
それはそうだろう。 君がよ
I was about to say the same thing. I was like,
トビーは17歳。その二回り下が何歳になるとか口に出したら
Alright, maybe he's a little
いけない
good.
よ
Maybe he's a little funny. Mr. Tokitsu nodded his head in self-affirmation. He chose to ignore Tobimaru's off-color remarks. Tobimaru was reluctantly impressed with the man's magnanimity. In the end,
ともかく挨拶はしましたから邪魔者はこれで消えますよ。あとは仲良し同士気兼ねなくどうぞ。
なんだトビー、これも縁だ。ゆっくりしていけばいい。なんなら今から僕の別荘に来るかね。ヘリコを呼ぶよ。楽しいぞ。
いや、お気持ちは嬉しいんですけどね。知る人が見ればとんでもなくブルジョワなメンツでしょこれ。今は避けたい気分なんですよ、そういうの。
Tobimaru's choice words made his present situation clear to Mr. Tokitsu, and he reluctantly backed off. Such intuitive understanding made it obvious how this man had expanded the Tokitsu banking company nationwide. He had divided Tobimaru's complicated family situation in an instant.
ミックによろしく。
Is that what that said?
そろそ
Divided?
ろ引退して子供たちと仲直りするよ。僕が言っていたと伝えてくれ。
はいはい、ぬかに釘だろうけど伝えておきますよ。じゃあな、クオンジさん。また朝に出会うことがあったら、その時は改めて挨拶させてくれ。
Alice's silence neither encouraged nor discouraged this. Tobimaru shrugged as he left the plaza. So, what was the point of that? What did we do that for? Explain. He walked leisurely away from the park and came to an area of the city that was under redevelopment. There was a radio tower under construction there that the Tsukiji family had a hand in. But most of the capital for that project was funded by foreign firms.
この電波塔は10年先を見越してのものです。いずれ携帯通信は目まぐるしい進歩を遂げるでしょう。まずはそのモデルケースとして私どもの技術を三崎市に普及させたいのです。
The man from the foreign firm shook on the deal with Tobimaru's father, Hitoyoshi.
い
Smart
ずれ
man.
は娘も三崎市に住まわせようと思っています。その時はあなたの息子さんともぜひ交友を深めて。
He was a handsome man who had the calm command of a leader. The fact that he had offered up his daughter to Tobimaru showed that he had researched the Tsukiji family's inheritance issues as well.
親父も舐められてるって気づけよな。親父より先に俺に色目使いやがって。くそ、そもそも金髪女の相手なんざ願い下げだぜ。向こうで海兵相手にケツ振ってろってんだ。
Tobimaru stopped in his tracks after these muttered complaints. He decided to stop himself before he said anything worse. He'd walked far enough already anyway. The sun was completely up now. There was nothing more to gain from wandering
戻る
mindlessly.
か。
He turned his back to the radio tower and began heading home. 1 hour later.
坊ちゃん、お電話です。
What was the point of any of all that? If you want to give me a Tobimaru story, give me a Tobimaru story. Do not do this convoluted reading, a bunch of reading. Let me see how his family affects his character or how much he dislikes his family while he's with his family. Whatever. Tobimaru had returned to the Tsukiji residence. He took the phone from the housemaid.
もしもし、飛び丸？宗十郎がこんなことになってるんだけど、あんた心当たりない？
Ako Awazaki was on the line. That was never a good sign.
とまあこういうわけなのよ。
すげえな。安 心できる要素が一つもねえ。
Sojiro seems caught in a strange part-time job. I'll wait for you in the central park to talk about it. 10 minutes had passed since he had received a call from Alco and returned to the park. Tomimaro felt a light migraine coming on after hearing about the situation. The young girl and the old man from before were nowhere to be
そんな
seen.
こと言われるまでもなく分かってるわよ。私だって人のアルバイトにケチつけたくないけど、どう考えても普通じゃないでしょ。あんたあいつから何か聞いてない？
悪いな、期待には応えられん。宗十郎はバイトに関しては秘密主義だ。任されているからには他言はできないとかなんとかな。
そうなのよね。あいつ他人の事情に関しちゃ缶詰みたいに切りがたいから、ガキガキにされない限り口を割らないのよ。
ほう、それは青崎にそこまで言わせるとはね。宗十郎も信頼されたもんだ。
どういう意味よそれ。
タイはね、言葉通りに受け取ってくれ。お前基本的に何にだって怒るだろ。そんな女が学校外で世話を焼くなんてよっぽど気に入ったのかと思ってな。
He knows that Sojiro is living with him, right? Or
違
with
う
her?
わよ。あいつが問題を起こしたら私たちにまで飛び火するじゃない。こんなの誰がどう見てもただのリスク回避でしょ。
なるほど、公務として見過ごせないってわけか。
そうよ。悪い？
いや悪かねえさ、むしろ尊敬するよ。ほんと鉄の生徒会長だぜ。休日だっていうのに学校の評判を守るためだけに働けるとは。
だけってところを妙に強調するじゃない。まあ事実その通りだけど。
Ako's glare seems to suggest that she wasn't interested in hearing any objections. This little bluff was rather charming to Tomimaro, who was well aware of Sojiro and Ako's current living situation. I thought so.
別に。しかしまあそういうことなら副会長として付き合わなくっちゃな。会長は学校のために宗十郎を調査する。俺はそのサポートをしつつ友人として宗十郎を気にかけるってことで。
Tomimaro said he would do as Alco asked, but for some reason she did not seem satisfied.
じゃあそうと決まれば早速始めますか。青崎のことだから宗十郎の勤め先ぐらい突き止めてんだろ。住所どこだよ。
それが尾行したんだけどうまく巻かれちゃって、駅前から2丁目方面に曲がっていたのまでは確実なんだけど。
The vice president was used to this. He didn't bother saying anything about her going so far as to tell Sojiro.
2丁目か。あの辺りだとパチンコとゲームセンターぐらいしか思い当たらねえな。1日に何万も稼げる店なんざねえぞ。
そうなのよ。というか知ってたら私が試したい気分だわ。飛び丸、念のために聞くけど、三崎町にあるお金の稼げる遊び場ってパチンコだけよね。
あ、親父の話じゃ風営法に引っかかる賭場はねえとさ。三崎町の顔役は話のわかるおっさんでクリーンな極道を目指してるらしい。パチンコ経営だけで満足してるって話だ。
うん、それは知ってる。一応確認しただけ。でもそうなるとますます謎ね。ギャンブル以外でお金を売買にしていく仕事なんてちょっと思い当たらないんだけど。
ああ、体でも売ってるとしか思えない羽振りの良さだ。一晩いくらみたいな。
There was a slight delay in Ako's reaction. It took her a few seconds to register what he was saying, but then her jaw dropped.
あんた。
ほら、絵画のモデルとかバイト代は高いと聞くぜ。
あ、割はいいって言うわね。美大生ってお金持ちだし。そうよね。それぐらいなら別に。
We all know what he meant.
まあヌードなのは当然だが、
結局裸じゃない。
Without any real information to go on, the conversation was quickly diverging further from the topic at hand. Without knowing the location or type of work, there really wasn't much to talk about.
明日もう一度総十郎を尾行するしかないわね。二人がかりなら見失うこともないだろうし。
そうだな。他に手がかりもねえし、明日にするか。宗十郎の羽振りがいいだけじゃどうしようも。
Torimaro furrowed his brow. It seemed he had thought of something. His expression turned more dire by the second.
どうしたの、飛丸。何か思い出した？
ああ、ちょっとな。そういえば、最近妙に羽振りのいいバカが一人いたなって。そいつ、3日ぐらい前から金に明かして合コンし放題って話なんだが、頭の痛いことに、宗十郎と同じクラスのバカなんだよ、これが。
There were a few seconds of silence. Akko nodded as she had put two and two together.
あいつね。
The two immediately left the park to go find the suspect.
チャリース、お呼びとあらば補習だろうと即サボり、遊びのお誘いだけは断らない木の実くんです。
Suspect A was apprehended with ease. Alko and Torimaro were both on the student council, so they knew their target would be at school for remedial lessons. Torimaro got a girl in Kinonomi's class to tell him that he had some good news to share outside. Kinomi took the bait and came running out to the school's front gates as fast as he could.
ああ、補習中呼び出して悪かったな。
別に悪くないぜ。補習を口実にバイトをサボってみたものの、やっぱり補習もかったるかったんで、出席だけ取って保健室で寝てただけだし。で、ちょうど暇してたところに殿下からコールだろ。合流できると飛んできたわけさ。
Kuroe gave a double thumbs up to show he was really ready to have fun.
そうか、てっきり外で遊び歩いてると思ったが、助かったぜ。お前、連日ゲームセンターに入り浸りだって聞いてたからよ。
ああ、あれね。ちょうど昨日ですっからかんよ。ゲーセンでおごりまくるのは気持ちいいけど、後に残るのは虚しさばかりだよな。他校のヤンキーどもと仲良くなっても嬉しくねえっつうが、女っ気皆無というか。なんで女の子はゲーセン嫌がるかね。まあ、それも過去の話だけどね。所詮ポット湧いたあぶくぜに使っちまった金の話をしてもしょうがねえ。俺たちは明るく今の話をしよう。そうだろう、リッチな飛丸くん。その有り余る財力で今日は僕をどこに連れて行ってくれるんだい？
ああ、その前にこちらの御仁がお前に話があるってよ。
え？
こんにちは、木の実くん。そのあぶく銭の話を聞かせてもらえるかしら。
Kinomi's expression went blank. If anyone could sniff out danger, it was him, and it stank like his impending doom. I don't know why I read that as
僕
room. I
勉強
think
したいんで戻っていいでしょうか？
もちろん。洗いざらい質問に答え終わったら戻っていいわよ。こっちも時間が惜しいからスムーズな自白を期待するわ。それであぶく銭って何の話？あなたの月々のバイト料は2万円前後よね。その金額で3日近くも王様の真似事は難しいと思うのだけど。
it seemed like the next logical question would be to ask if he had begun a life of crime.
なんだよ、会長には関係ないだろう。そもそも自白って何ですか？ いきなり犯人扱いとかいくらなんでも横暴じゃねえの？つうか何の事件これ？
まだ事件かどうかは何とも。最近お金の回りがいい生徒がいると聞いて調べ始めたばかりだから。毎日何万円ももらえる仕事なんて学生には目の毒だし、そういったアルバイトは学校側に報告されてないしね。生徒会として危ない仕事だったら注意してあげないと。
Ako was still smiling as she inched closer to Kinomi. She had never spoken to him this nicely after what he had done at the entrance ceremony. That alone was enough to make him think he was in big trouble.
へえ、それは初耳だな。最近金回りがいい生徒ね。俺のは違うよ。今まで貯めた貯金をなんとなく使っただけ。クリスマス前だからこう派手に錠剤しとこうかなって、役落とし的に。
普通クリスマス前は貯金するもんだけどな。
ダメよ築地くん、デリカシーが足りないわ。残酷な事実は口にしたくはないけど、木の実くんにはイブを過ごす相手がいないってことでしょ。学友としてそこを追求したらかわいそうよ。
いるわい本命ぐらい。真剣に同情する方がデリカシーに欠けると思うよ俺は。
あら、じゃあイブ用の資金は取ってあるの？
当たり前さ。臨時収入と貯金は別。俺通帳親父に握られてるからさ、予定外の入金とかすぐバレて怒られるんだよ。どこで悪さしてきやがったって。部屋も妹がチェックするしさ、隠し場所とかないんだよ。天井裏に隠したエロ本すら見つけられるんだぜ。万札入った封筒とか見つかった日には警察に連れて行かれる。だから速攻使うしかなくってさ。
Kinomi's the biggest idiot. Kinomi laughed awkwardly as if he was ashamed. The dude literally just admitted to having the money in an envelope, and he wasn't even aware of how much he had just let slip.
へえ、臨時収入？さっきと話違うみたい。
いやー、それはほらバイト先のボーナスみたいな。5000円ぐらい上乗せしてもらったの。ほんなちゃった。ちょっとだけだって。事件性とかないって。
Making $200 a month is insane. But again, you got to think about this is the 80s and it's also Japan. So that might be a lot more money than, you know, than 2023 when everything is like $800 and you can barely shop without crying. Story?
万札入った封筒について詳しく。
うわ、話せば話すほど食い違っていくぜ。なんだこれ、孔明の罠か。会長近い。ほらすごい、なんか寒い。しかもローファーじゃなくてブーツですか。この前封じられた俺の記憶が蘇りそうなんですけど。
Kinomi backed away slowly.
木の実くん、時間がないって言ったの、もう一度アピールするべきかしら。直接体に。
Threat of a kick to the face from Alko was enough to show him that she was serious.
わかった、話すってばもう。臨時収入ってのは本当だよ。新しいバイトがあってさ、そこにしずきを紹介したら先輩にボーナスもらったんだよ。
Pyramid scheme?
なんですって。
If Kinomi was really working at the same part-time job as Sojiro, she wanted to get as much information from him as she could. This was the exact response she had wanted from Kinomi, if not better. What the? That scared me. But she felt dizzy from the implication.
紹介したらボーナスをもらえるって、それ。
It was the oldest trick in the book for pyramid schemes and other business practices.
いや、それがさ、しずきが稼ぎを増やしたいって言うんで、ちょい怪しいバイトを紹介したんだよね。
This went all the way back before final exams. Kinomi told Sojiro about a job he had heard from an older student. Since the job required a kind, honest young man, Kinomi reluctantly gave up on it for himself and instead passed it to a friend he thought could fit the description.
信じられない。そんな怪しい話にクラスメートを放り出しておいて、まだ友人顔するとか。木の実くん、 普段何考えて生きてるの？
友達でも紹介するでしょ、こういうの。むしろ本当の友情ってこういうものよ。しずきも助かって俺も潤うんだからさ。無償の友情とかもう流行んないですよ。
そりゃそうだけど、そういうのはちゃんとケツ持つ覚悟がある時だけ口にするものじゃないの？
何それ、めんどくさい。会長、男同士の友情に幻想持ちすぎだってば。基本俺たちみんなバカよ。
あなたを見てると本気でそう思えてくるから不思議ね。飛び丸、あんたよくこんなのとつるんでるわね。
はいはい、そこまで。説教するならまた後でな、青崎。そいつ素でバカだから、本気で構成させたかったら1日使うぞ。
いや、足りますよ。ちゃんと1日で構成できます、僕。ただ寝ると忘れちゃうだけで。
ほらな。ま、てめえがバカだって自覚している分、気づいてないやつよりは付き合いやすい。この若さで情けは人のためならずを実践してる野郎はそういねえし。
納得。確かにあんたと気が合いそうな性格ね。
いや、参ったな。なんだよ二人とも、いくら俺でも照れるじゃんか。今俺のこと褒めてなかった？
褒めてねえ。
褒めてないわよ。
ですよね。
With Kinomi leading the way, Alko and Tobimaru arrived at the part-time job in question. They moved past the new entertainment district in front of the station and into the seedy part of 2nd Street. Alko pointed to where she had lost Sojiro when she was
こ
following
の
her.
辺りね。
New track?
そのバイト先ってどこ？
あの辺。
Okay. One moment. I didn't read the other part, but you guys don't need that. I'm just listening to the music. I'm sorry. I got kind of. I was literally in tune with it. I felt the vibrations. I felt each instrument. I thought I myself was an instrument. I'm back. I'm here. The entrance was on one side of the first floor. What? At first glance, wait. Why do you have to specify that? The entrance was on one side of the first floor. Yeah, no shit. What? The entrance was on one side of the first floor. Yeah, that's normal. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't know what building you have to specify that the entrance is on the first floor on one of the sides. But at first glance, it looked no different from an apartment complex. The hallway on the first floor continued to the back of the building. The stairs were located at the beginning of that hallway, and were the first things you
ちょ
saw
っと
when
そこの路地裏に入りましょう。
Alko hurried off to the back alley, where they were not likely to be seen. 3 students stuck out like a sore thumb in the entertainment district like this.
で、中はどうなってんの？事務所って言ってたけど、どんな仕事？
俺に聞いてんの？やだな。俺が知ってるのはここまでだぜ。俺だって先輩に言われただけで中のことなんて知らないし、宗十郎をここまで連れてきたら先輩が紹介料くれただけだし。
Their top suspect just admitted he knew no further details. Hosuke Kinomi, co-defendant, or perhaps who they thought may have been a main culprit, was really no more than a knowing witness.
参った。ここまで無責任だといっそすがすがしい。ところで木の実くん、西部劇とか見たことある？役に立たない情報提供者の末路とかご存知かしら？
いや、俺映画って苦手なんだよ。でもセーラー服と機関銃なら見た。主演目当てで。
そう？残念ね。夕日のガンマンぐらいは見とけばよかったのに。ま、どうあれ、情報提供者は悲惨な死を遂げるんだけど。
やる気満々だぜこの女。殿下、こんな教授ほったらかしにしちゃまずいって。首輪とかつけないとさ。 って築地？なんだよしけた顔しちゃって。あのビルが何か知ってんの？
まずいな。知ってるも何も。あれは最近やってきた詐欺まがいのセールス屋だ。英会話セットの販売と何ら変わらねえ。
Akko was sad to hear the truth was as bad as she thought. Kinomi seemed confused as well.
それ確かなの飛び丸？
ああ、親父の秘書さんから聞いた話だ。間違いない。表向きは新興宗教なんだが、やってることは羽毛布団の販売だとさ。じいさまばあさま相手に質の低い羽毛布団を高額で売りつけているらしい。あの事務所も貸し事務所だ。1ヶ月もこの町で稼いだらあっさりドローンするつもりだろう。間違いなく宗十郎は騙されてるな。最高のカモだろ、詐欺師にとっちゃ。
Tobimaru slumped his shoulders in defeat. Akko, however, was already in full
よし
battle
潰
mode.
す。その後木の実は学校の旗のところに吊るす。
え？直？今のセリフだと縄じゃなくて首？脊髄にぐっさり？殺人？
いや待て青崎、それだと辻褄が合わん。宗十郎は大金を持ってたんだよな。それじゃあカモとは呼べねえぞ。
そういえばそうだった。木の実くんの発言に気を取られすぎてあの大金のことを忘れてた。あれってことはまさか。
ああ、騙されている側だったら金は減っていく。だが増えてるなら話は別だ。考えたくねえが、宗十郎のやつはセールス側に回ってるんじゃないか。
信じられない。宗十郎が詐欺グループの一員になっているですって。
はあ？まさかしずきに騙されるようなやつはいねえよ。だいたい嘘つけないじゃんあいつ。羽毛布団を売りさばくとか絶対無理だって。
Does he have to lie though? What does he know about the products, you know?
だから宗十郎自身、それが悪質な詐欺だと気づいてないんじゃ
What
ない
did
か。
I say? Ace
あいつはあい
detective.
つで心からいいものだと思って売ってるんだよ。
Akechi?
孫。
ほう、
I'm sorry,
なるほど。
I got
そりゃ
triggered.
納得だ。あの純真さんがお年寄りに大人気ってわけだな。やるじゃんしずき。今度会ったら俺もお裾分けしてもらった。
木の実くんの構成は今後の課題として。どうしよう飛び丸、もう少し様子を見た方がいいと思う？仮にしずきくんが関わってたら彼にも詐欺罪が適用される？まだ未成年だけど。
あくまで従業員だから実刑はかからねえとは思うが、敵さんはあれで食ってる連中だからな。宗十郎が雇われた時の契約書の内容次第だ。
そうよね。下手したら宗十郎自身もう入会してるかもしれない。
Akko looked a lot more cool-headed now. Tobimaru had been serving with her on the student council for over a year. He knew exactly what she was thinking at a time like this.
入会していたら脱会は難しいな。あいつ本人にその気がなくともハンコの力は絶大だ。それで青崎、どこまでやる気だ？
営業停止は最低ライン。進行は自由だって言うならよその土地でやってもらうまでよ。
だろうな。そんな顔してるぜお前さん。で宗十郎はどうする？とりあえず辞めさせるか？
当然。けどもう彼だけの問題じゃないわ。そもそもうちの生徒を雇おうとした時点で私たちの問題よ。しずきくんとは関係なしであの事務所潰すから。
いいけどな。厄介だぞあの手の連中は。サラ金と同じで法律上は何の問題もねえ。警察じゃせいぜい厳重注意レベル。 下手に商売の邪魔をすれば損害賠償と言い出しかねえ。せいてはことを何とやらだ。
分かってる。まずは会社の概要と社長の素性、構成員の数を調べながら被害者の洗い出し。
Akko suddenly stopped talking in the middle of her detailed plans.
どうした青崎。
Is it what I think it is? Torimaru noticed right away what Akko had spotted. Akko was looking at the crowd in the street. Yeah. Why is he Dino stand up, man? I don't understand. Okay, a part of me is telling me to pick this up like tomorrow. But I want to keep pushing. I want to keep pushing at the same time. But I'm tired all of a sudden. Tomorrow's Elden Ring, isn't it? Because today is Thursday. I'm recording on a Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. It's Elden Ring. And that Elden Ring stream? What? Elden Ring stream should be really long. Because I want to go through all the stuff I didn't get to. Sheesh. I'm really tired. I think I have time. See, this is why you record earlier. Like last time I was like recording the day of, bro. Like this is why you record earlier. Because I have this time to delegate. You know, if I want to stop now and then come back tomorrow or later on Saturday, finish it up. An extra hour. No, let me at least do an hour 52, bro. Like let me at least do 2 hours so I just do 30 minutes, bro. Like that's my thought process. Like I keep going. I'm sorry this even happened. It's not a familiar young man wearing a coat was walking through the lively 2nd Street. He walked confidently up the office building and disappeared inside. He hadn't seemed to notice the worried trio watching from the shadows. The young man, clearly Sojiro Suzuki, had just started his shift, still oblivious to the severity of the situation he was in. You guys didn't even notice, but this is me from another day. This is the next day. This is Friday. Let me stop. I'm joking. It's still Thursday. That could have worked. Okay, whoa. Akko was shaking with rage.
待って、落ち着け青崎。気持ちはわかるが、あいつに悪気はだな。
ああもうなんか無性に頭きた。
This has to be a misunderstanding. Akko raised her head in a fury and clenched her fist. She was no longer her usual calm and collected self. This was the student council president who ruled with an iron fist, fueled by her own righteous, indignation. Got it.
飛び丸、応援団の美濃先輩に連絡取って、今すぐこわもての団員20人ほど集めてきて。
Okay.
喧嘩になるかもしれないから、それなりの装備込みでって。
Akko darted into the main street as she barked her orders. She looked like an esteemed general charging into battle against an enemy squadron.
ミノって応援団の団長のか。しかも20人って、お前一体何する気だ。
決まってるでしょ。殴り込みよ。まずは法律面での制裁からなんて考えが甘かった。学生騙して私服を肥やすような悪党には物理的な制裁で十分よ。そもそもスケールが小さいっての。何よ本物の光って。こんなしけた街で羽毛布団とか売ってんだ。
待て落ち着け。さっきまでの平和的なプランはどこに行った。悪党を暴力で押さえつけていいのは警察だけだ。いいから踊りやがれ。
何よ、その警察が使えないから私たちが出張るんじゃない。文句あるならダイアン出せ。
文句はね、まず落ち着けって話だ。そもそもダイアンなんざ立てるまでもね。お前さん、さっきはどんな手を考えてたか口にしてみろ。まずは法律面での制裁をとか言ってただろ。
そんなのあんただって分かってるでしょ。あの会社の調査と並行して詐欺の被害に遭った人たちを探して、私たちが間に入って連盟を作る。ご老人ばかりを標的にしてるのは、おじいさんたちは世間の事情に疎いと見くびってるからだろうし。なんでおじいさんたちだけじゃわからない問題を私たちでフォローしてあげれば、被害者の会ぐらいは作れるわ。
よーし、その調子だ。確かに一人一人で掛け合っても連中にとっちゃ痛くも痒くもね。横のつながりを作るのは大事だからな。それで契約をなかったことにして取られた金を取り戻すか？
それは無理でしょうね。契約書は絶対よ。頭くるけど書かれたことは覆らない。今からできるのはこれ以上の被害を抑えることだけ。ローンの解約、入会、
それと
可能な限り金銭を回収する。羽毛布団ならクーリングオフが適用されるはず。全ての返品は無理でもやるに越したことはないわ。
上出来だ。それで行こうぜ、青崎。何もお前さんが悪役になる必要はねえ。せっかくの法治国家だ。平和的に解決しよう。
それはそうだけど、こんなの部外者だから言えることよ。詐欺に遭った人たちからすれば取られたものは取られたままなんだし。
それを気に病むのはそれこそお前の仕事じゃねえ。まずはクマリンに連絡しよう。あいつ商店街の娘だからな。被害者の調査に向いているだろう。
小鹿にあんまり荒ごとに巻き込みたくないけど仕方ないか。オッケー、私の方から連絡する。飛丸は美濃先輩への電話お願い。
あ、こっちの話なら応援団必要ねえだろ。
必要だってば。脅し要員だけじゃなくおじいさん間の連携に走ってもらわなくちゃ。先輩たちいかつい顔して優しいでしょ。クーリングオフは書面に起こすことが大前提。書類に弱いおじいさんたちの代わりに先輩たちに代筆してもらうのよ。
なるほど、そりゃいい。数の暴力だな。連中も20人からの返品は夢にも思ってねえだろうさ。
Alco and Tobimaru are both not in agreement. Kinomi had been completely left to the wayside in this whole discussion.
なあ、クーリングオフってなんだよ。俺聞いたことねえんだけど。
買った商品を返品して購入時の金額を返してもらうことよ。日本じゃ10年ぐらい前から正式に採用されてるけど、木の実くん聞いたことない？
いや全く。ただの返品と違うの？
同じだけどこっちは国が後ろ盾になってくれるわ。本物の光が法を盾にするならこっちも法で突き破るだけよ。おじいさんたちには馴染みのない話だろうから、そこは私たちが代わりにやるってわけ。
In reality, only a very narrow range of products were applicable. Ah, damn, I had it. Applicable for the satisfaction period law, and it was currently unclear if those handled by the light of truth fell under that umbrella. If it was not applicable under this law, Alco would have to think of another plan. However, not 30 minutes later, that worry would vanish when they got the chance to examine the actual quilt sold by the Light of Truth. Once Alco has an established plan, she will not waver from it. They had made a cafe with a view of the office building their command center, and after they got together, others from the student councils were back up. Whatever. Their one-day blitz tactic plan began.
そうと決まれば迅速にね。二人とも連絡係よろしく。サクッと今日中に決着をつけましょう。
Tobimaru sighed at the thought of trying to complete everything in a day's time. Kinomi, on the other hand, wondered why he had been dragged to help. Although Tobimaru had gotten Alco to abandon the idea of physical fight, Alco knew that the contract plan would be difficult to pull off and continued to research other options. There were many conditions that needed to be met for this plan to actually work. The major issue was the amount of time elapsed from the time of purchase. For consumable goods, the time limit for a legal return was 8 days. If there were 30 or so victims, this would probably be applicable for one or two of them. If that was the case, they needed to look for some other consumer protection besides the satisfaction clause.
何々安価なものを不当な金額で売りつけた場合、暴利行為として公序良俗違反で契約が無効となる場合がある。ただし公序良俗を根拠とするって。何よこれ、ほとんど売る側の勝ちじゃない。疑わしきは罰せずが法廷の基本だし、水かけ論じゃこっちが不利だ。
It was a difficult situation. They wouldn't be able to stand up to an experienced group of scam artists with their limited knowledge of the law. They need to fight fire with fire, or in this case, a scam with a scam.
騙し取られた金額分だけ美味しい話で騙し取るって話か。
To do that, they need more intel. Akko was studying the materials they collected for something they could use.
お待たせ。とりあえず追加候補10人分の住所と布団の現物持ってきたわよ。
Hold up. Kumari in her casual outfit? I'm ready. Show me.
サンキュー。さすがくまり。本気出せば仕事の早いこと。
Akko took the list of victims from the Student Council Secretary, Kojika Kumari, and immediately contacted Tobimaro on his pager. Although pagers could only receive short messages like "call me," they were a powerful means of communication in the age where people relied on public telephones. Tobimaro called the cafe to give Akko an update and hear about the list of newly discovered victims.
被害者の会はできたのね。仕切りは青山くんにやらせて。一応相手への牽制として名刺も作ってくれると助かる。事務局はほら、文化祭の時に作った偽団体あるじゃない？あそこの電話番号にしておいて。電話番は山城先生に頼み込むわ。
The victims advocacy group was currently at just over 10 members. The group's aim was to help the victims of the scam get their money back and remove themselves from the light of truth. Some of the victims had not even realized they'd been scammed, so with some explanation, 10 more members were added. With some, I don't think I said that, whatever. It helped that it was a polite, young, and well-dressed students who were giving them this information. The elderly generally seemed more accepting of anyone who was around the age of their grandchildren.
にしても、よくここまで調べたもんだわ。否定の20人なんてあっという間だったわね。
あんたの言う条件が分かりやすかったから。60過ぎのご老人で一人暮らしで町内会に入っていない人を探せばよかったんだし、やってることは本物の光の販売員と一緒。でもこんなんでなんとかなる話じゃないと思うけど、結局のところ抗議するのが関の山じゃ。青崎、ちょっと何薄気味悪い顔で笑ってるのよ。
Akko looked up after being called out by her friend.
いやー、面白いもん見つけちゃって。成果の乏しい戦いになると思ってたけど、風向きが変わったわ。ほら、見てクマ、この羽毛布団のマーク。ん？
Akko showed her the product label sewn into the down quilt. There on the tag was what looked like the Japanese Industrial Standards logo. Japanese industrial standards help maintain the quality of industrial products in Japan. Products of this mark were required to be produced in accordance with the Industrial Standardization Law.
JLS？
そう。こうなると契約書が逆に武器になる。百戦錬磨かと思ったけど、実際はウサギしか相手にしない素人ってこと。ええ、うまく話を持っていけば全額返済も夢じゃないわ。勝利の勝ち時はさぞ気持ちのいいものになるでしょうね。
Akko took a seat, still grinning from ear to ear. She didn't ring Tobimaru's pager. Instead, she dialed a different number on the red phone while humming to herself. Akko heard the familiar ringing tone through the receiver.
青崎、
Just show me
築地
the
に
full
連絡入
render.
れるんじゃないの？作戦が変わったって。
それは後。今大事なのは交渉役を誰にするかよ。私や飛丸じゃさすがに貫禄不足だしね。こっちが有利になったとしてもまだ状況は五分だし。 会話次第じゃひっくり返されるだろうから、被害者の会の代表はそれはもう少年のひん曲がった悪魔でないと。
それあんたのことだと思うんだけど、違う？
いえいえ、こういうのは社会的立場のある大人じゃないと務まりません。安心してくまり、ぴったりのやつを知ってるから。ま、詐欺師には詐欺師ってね。この町には人を言いまかすのだけが仕事のやつって言っちゃったりするのよ。今日もやることなくて暇してるだろうし、たまには働いてもらわないと。彼女にかかっちゃサラ金だろうが教祖だろうが、1時間で精神崩壊。裸足で山に逃げ込むわ。
Akko kept the phone receiver to her ear as she delivered the cutting remarks. The ringtone had long since. Oh, she's a genius.
まさかとは思いますが、今の話は私のことでしょうか、青子さん。
An eloquent woman's voice could be heard from the phone's earpiece. Akko innocently said her greetings and smiled like a hunter who had just gotten their prey to take the bait. I think I know who this is. Is this the church girl? No. Who is this? Who is this? It is her!
あなたには年長者への敬意が足りていないようですね、青子さん。
Now this chapter just got 100 times more interesting. Love seeing some returning characters. Tomimaro and Kinomi had returned to their task and stood there, wide-eyed. The person Alko had invited to the cafe looked so out of place that it was a shock to everyone.
はーい、ゆいかさん。わざわざ来てもらって助かるわ。事情は電話で説明したけど、もう少し詳しく説明する？
結構です。本物の光のことは先ほど律香から報告を受けましたから、あなたに享受していただく事柄は一つもありません。
ありま、ご機嫌なのね。よかった。そのテンションのまんま勝ち込みお願いね。一般人の一人や二人、ゆいかさんが本性を出せば睨むだけでそっとさせられるでしょ。
そうなの？このお姉さん、アイダ協会のシスターさんだよね。俺密かに憧れてたんですけど。いや、そんな場合じゃねえ。どうも、木南宝介っす。青崎さんとはあんまり仲良くありません。
Kinomi was clearly trying to earn points by showing that he was also not that friendly with Akko. Sister Yuka gave him an angelic smile.
これはご丁寧に。アイダ協会で装飾を務める須瀬ゆいかです。はじめまして、宝介さん。
いやー、すんげえ。本当にシスターだよ、シスター。会長、とんでもない隠し玉連れてきたな。あれ？でもゆいかさんに何してもらうの？いや、俺はいてくれるだけで嬉しいけど。
まあ、大体想像できるが。はじめまして、シスターユイカ。三崎高校生徒会副会長、築地飛丸です。
Tomimaro didn't look so well. Perhaps he had figured out where this course of events was headed. The JLS label was indeed illegal. This discovery made Alko realize how they could get their victims' money back and run the light of truth out of town completely. Sister Yuika was her solution.
てっきり証拠に物を言わせて訴えられたくなければ示談で済ませろ、全額返して出ていけって話かと思ったが、恐ろしい女だぜ。追い出すだけじゃなくスカンピンにして放り出そうって腹か。
は？なんでそうなるの？何？美人なだけじゃなくシスターさんってそんな権利持ってるの？
シスターさんがじゃなくてゆいかさんの人間力と言うべきね。はい、これ被害者の会からの連名書。一応うちの応援団の先輩たちも待機してるけど、何人か連れていく？
そうですね。逆上して手を挙げられては後片付けが面倒ですので、抑止力として5人ほど。あとは青子さんが同行してくれるのでしたら、私としては不満はありません。
え？どういうこと？もしかしてシスターさんが話つけに行くの？会長？
いいのいいの。ゆいかさんはこう見えて荒事の専門家なんだから。 ねえゆいかさん、あなたほどではありませんが。いいでしょう。今回は利益が一致します。あの事務所の方々が違法を働いているのは事実ですから。罪には罰を、善良な人々を、特に私たちの同胞を苦しめている
Kino me in the background.
相応の痛みが必要です。さすが泣く子も黙る鬼のシスター。期待してるわ。昔から商売敵を潰すのは得意だものね、あなたたち。言われるまでもありません。一つの土地に二つの教えがあっては迷惑です。
When the two continued to antagonize each other, they entered the office building, fighting for the same team. The 5 burly members is that really his, of the cheers team filled in behind them. Sorry. They had left behind a glum Tobimaro and a completely clueless Kinomi.
わかんねえ。青崎、あの美人さんに何やらせる気なんだよ。
そりゃお前、口にはできない残虐行為だろ。相手の弱みを握ったら、とことん叩きのめすのが青崎だからな。違法販売をネタにして、契約解除をさせた後に告訴するって流れ。訴えるのはシスターの役目だな。立場上、学生である青崎よりシスターの方がお題目が立つ。何よりあの教会、たまに嫌な噂を聞くしな。連中、貯めた財産根こそぎ取られるだけで済めばいいが。
After taking a few deep breaths, Tobimaro also headed towards the office building.
天下も事務所に行くの？怖くない？
行かねえよ、おっかねえ。俺のはちょっとした野暮用だ。てめえも補習に戻れよ。今日の礼はまた改めてくれてやるから。
バッカ、補習なんてもう終わってるじゃんか。気がつけばもうすぐ夕方だぜ、夕方。楽しかったからいいけどな。
違いない。あっという間の半日だった。
Tobimaro waved goodbye and disappeared into the office building. Kinomi thought it was strange since Tobimaro had just said he wasn't going in there. However, he left as well after hearing a noise that sounded like a glass breaking on the 3rd floor of the office building. A wise man never courts danger, as they say. The discussion ended without any major issues. The inside of the office was mostly untouched. Only the center line of desks had been pulverized by Sister Yuika. Things had been resolved peacefully without any bloodshed. I wish I could have seen that. The office had been conquered in about an hour, and Alka was now surveying it. A large desk had gone right through the window, flung through the air with a single swing of Sister Yuika's hand. The cell staff were shaking in the corner like they'd just seen the devil incarnate. Sister Yuika brought in the 5 members of the cheer team to seize the office permits and other important documents. Unfortunately, the one thing Alko was looking for was never to be found. She went to ask the sales staff, still quivering in the corner of the room.
ちょっと、3時間ぐらい前、ここに人畜無害そうなの来なかった？ビルから出てきてないから、まだ中にいると思うんだけど。
Everyone shook their heads. I knew something was going to happen badly. Oh, man. Nobody had seen a student who fit the description in the office. Alko was looking even more confused at this point.
でもまあ。
She was still happy that she had done a good deed here today. Fair. Tobimaro entered the office building and headed straight down the hallway. He glanced at the stairs in front of him as he walked by, passing several tenants and heading towards the emergency exit at the back of the building. Tobimaro knew the geography of 2nd Street well. If his memory served him correctly, there were some old one-story houses behind the building that had been around forever. They were old tin-roofed rental houses that stood against the tides of time. though overshadowed by the recent trend of two-story apartments. They were still there, alive and kicking. At the back of the office building, there was a river for processing wastewater. Beyond the river was a fence. Oh, wait. Beyond the river and a fence, there were many one-story houses. Next to the building, there was a bridge that crossed over to the other side. It was a shortcut only neighborhood locals would know about.
なるほど。大したショートカットだ。地図なんて当てになんねえな。
As Tobimaro walked through the bridge, he saw a familiar face exit one of the old tin roof houses. The young man was wearing a coat and was without a doubt Sojiro Suzuki.
明日もまた来ておくれね。
Sojiro crossed the bridge while the old woman who resided there saw him off.
あれ副会長
ああ、奇遇だな、色男。
The two exchanged glances as they crossed paths on the bridge. Sojiro looked fairly spent. That was all Tobimaro needed to see. Sojiro's new job was a lot harder than working for any scam artist. Huh? They both stopped to talk on the footbridge.
あの辺りに親戚でもいるの
Whoa! Set piece! Hey, yo! Hold on. Can we just appreciate? Woo! Fire.
いやいない。一つ手に紹介されておばあさんの話し相手をしていただけだ。
Look at the boy leaning. Oh my god. Can I just get the full image? Just keep scrolling until it stops. Oh my god. For some reason, Sojiro readily revealed what he had refused to tell Aka.
そんな気軽に話していいのか？守秘義務とかありそうだが。
いや、秘密にしなくちゃいけない話でもないんだ。ただ、話しちゃいけない気がしただけで。飛び丸には出てくるところを見られたし、正直、誰かに言いたい気持ちはあった。弱ん。
I thought he stopped. I'm so sorry. Leaning on the rail of the footbridge, Tobimaro urged him to go on. It turned out that Sojiro's story was nothing out of the ordinary. His new part-time job was to be a home helper of the old one-story house. The resident was a widow, my bad, Jesus, was a widow who had been left alone after her son moved off to the city.
初めはただのお手伝いだったんだけどね。
He spoke with a troubled, slightly regretful smile. Maybe he was ashamed of something he'd done. There was a tinge of darkness behind the tormented smile on his face. Tobimaro found himself surprised at his own thoughts and slapped himself lightly on the cheek. This was his way of punishing himself. He wasn't sure why his imagination was running wild.
珍しく浮かない顔だが。あれか？出て行った息子さんとやらに文句があるのか？介護が必要なおふくろさんを放って好き勝手に暮らしていることに？
どうだろう。確かにおかしな話だとは思う。けど、俺はその息子さんを責める気にはなれない。だってそれは。
Sojiro stopped himself mid-sentence. He didn't think the son hated his mother so much as he did the town. He had probably just found somewhere better to live and moved away. Sojiro swallowed those bitter words.
お手伝いの料金は初めに全部もらってたんだ。今月だけという話なのに10万円は高すぎると思う。
He trailed off, muttering that he really didn't need that much money. The old woman had thanked him for his honesty. That was part of Sojiro's appeal, most likely. In a matter of days, the old woman put all her trust into Sojiro and treated him like her own grandson.
ああ、それは素直に嬉しいんだけど、問題は。
She always saw him off with a smile and asked him to return tomorrow. Every time he left, she gave him a stack of cash in the hope that he wouldn't forget her.
あ？それだけで大金もらってたのか？
うん。お孫さんの代わりをしてほしいと言われた。 あなたは信じられるから、これで孫のように振る舞ってくれって。
なんだそりゃ。少しも信じてねえよそれ。金で動く孫がいるか。そりゃヘルパーと変わらね
いや、おばあさんはヘルパーさんにはお金は払わないと言った。信頼できないから。あのおばあさんが信じられるのはお金だけなんだ。
She seemed to have some quirks about her, probably because she'd been living alone for so long. By this point, she'd lost all faith in the goodwill of humankind. To her, the bonds of family were nothing but fantasy. After being cast aside by her own family for so many years, the only thing that remained faithful to her was the money she'd saved. Over time, this led to her developing a strange complex. For her, the money she'd scrimped and saved, the last thing she could rely on, was the only way she could conceive of keeping someone in her life. Sorry.
バカらしい。それって結局金で雇った他人じゃねえか。孫の代わりとは言えねえな。
それはおばあさんが誰よりも分かってるよ。でも偽物だと分かっていても、それぐらいしか信じられるものはなかったんだ。おばあさんにとって家に寄りつかなくなったお孫さんは今一番欲しいものだから、その代償として彼女が一番信用できるものを真心として渡してくれたんだ。
She wasn't buying him though. She just trusted Sojiro from the bottom of her heart and was thanking him the only way she knew how. She didn't realize how that looked from other people's perspectives.
また厄介な事情に首突っ込んだもんだ。まあ、あんまり深く思い詰めるな。いい話じゃねえか。命より金が大事だったばあさんが今になって思い出の方に転んだわけだ。まっとうな話だよ。
そうかな。そうだといいけど。
It was obvious from Sojiro's expression that all this still weighed heavily on him.
なんだよ、煮え切らねえな。どうせお前さんのことだ。もらった金は一銭も使ってねえんだろ。んなことしてりゃいずれ年金も底をつく。そうなった時に丸々返すつもりだから青崎にも黙ってたんじゃないのか。
なんで飛び丸がそんなこと知ってるんだ。
まあ、いや。
I feel like the music is still too loud. Is that just me? The music is mad loud, isn't it? It's on what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's the default. I don't. Maybe it's just me. Again, I don't know if you guys know this, but literally one of my headphones is busted and I can barely hear anything out of it. So, there's that. So maybe it sounds perfectly fine. I'll see in a post. Tobimaro decided it was best to not tell Sojiro about all the trouble they went through for him today. He knew Aoko would only make him regret it later if he did.
でもこの話の一番難しいところはね、飛び丸。その人にはお孫さんはいなかったんだ。
Wow.
は？
After a few moments of surprise, Tobimaro let out a sigh. He understood. Being widowed with a son who's moved into the city and grandchildren who never visit, that was a normal, full, and rich life. Sometimes, however, a person's dreams were all that kept them going. The bottom is limitless. For every tragic life, there is another even more tragic than that.
時々油断すると思うんだ。この街について。みんな幸福そうに見えるのに、裏を覗くとそうでもないのはなんでだろうって。なんか街全体に騙されてるみたいだ。
Tobimaro leaned over the railing and looked down at the bustling town below. In the end, Sojiro's worries stemmed from his feeling of loss in the environment. The woman who walked through life alone into old age. Tobimaru's struggle with being antagonized by his entire family. Those were both personal matters. Sojiro's problems stemmed from the nebulous entity of the town itself. For every bit of progress made through modernization, there were also people left in growing misfortune. It didn't matter whether they were unequal in health, wealth, or compassion. It was all the same. The larger a town grows, the harder it becomes for the weak to thrive. For a young man who spent his life in the countryside, where everyone helped each other, this was hard to understand.
宗十郎、お前、この町は好きか？
まだわからない。そういう飛び丸は？
まあ、似たようなもんだ。好き嫌いも半々で、たまに何もかもどうでもよくなる時はある。だがまあ、お前さんとは真逆だな。俺はこの町のおかげで、てめえの悩みなんざ無視できる。ここに比べりゃマシだってな。空虚であろうと、この忙しさ、節操のなさは捨てたもんじゃねえってな。
ここに比べたらマシ？
ああ、違うな。マシというよりは、ありって感じか。バイトしてればたまに思うだろ。街ってのは、隙間を作らないように回ってるんだ。欠席にしろ空席にしろ、空きができたらすぐに埋められるようにできている。当たり前のようで、こいつはよくできた共同体なんだよ。昨日までは誰でもなかった他人が、明日には必要な隣人になってるかもしれない。昨日まではなかった街角に、新しい建物ができていることもある。まるで毎日が切った縫ったの大手術だ。それでもうまく回ってることに真剣に感心する。本当に何かの弾みで思うんだよ。俺はてめえだけで生きてるんじゃなくて、どうでもいい誰かのどうでもいい頑張りのおかげでこうして管負けてるんだってな。
That is such a heavy bar. I'm able to survive thanks to the accomplishments of people I'll never know about. Wow. Wow. Think about that one. Can I put that in the outro? Oh, man. Hold on. That is such a bar. Oh, my. Let me take a picture of that. Hold on. No. Because this is getting put in the outro. I'm not just living on my own. I'm able to survive thanks to the accomplishment of people I'll never know about. Is that not crazy to think about? Like, it really be the simple things, man. The fast food worker, the people that clean up the streets, you know, janitors, whatever, the people that keep your lights on, work on your computers when they go down, your printers, whatever. It's really those people that help you survive. And when you think about it, you may not know these people, but they are a part of your community. You're not alone. You're not alone. If you got lights working, if you could call the police, if you got whatever, that's all your community keeping you up. Damn, I didn't think about it like that. That's so crazy to think about. I'm able to survive thanks to the accomplishments of people I'll never know about. Wow.
持ちつ持たれつだ。そういう巡り合わせを成立させているだけでも、どんなバランスなんだって呆れるわけだ。
Just as the mountains are alive, so is the city. Tobimaru didn't seem to like it the way that living creature had manifested itself. But even still,
そうか。敬意を払ってるんだな、飛び丸は。
まあ、照れくさいが、そういうこと。
as someone who was born and raised in the city, Tobimaru was thankful that complete strangers were able to help each other out.
つうか、お前さんは贅沢すぎる。初めから好きなところに住めるやつなんていねえだろ。生まれる場所は選べねえしな。単純な話、 自分が住むって決めたところを好きになるしかねえってことだ。
Agreed. Not gonna be easy at first. Tomorrow gave Sojo's back a hard slap. Dang. And to think I was gonna stop recording, bro. Oh my god, this hidden. It was worth it. Maybe I should talk about this after the chapter, but it be some of the most I don't know, like in the middle of this chapter I was uninterested. I was like, whatever, I don't know why I'm learning any of this. And then you get to the end and all that setup and everything, they just start playing the music, hit you with the backdrops, the set pieces, and just the most intimate character moment. And it's just like, wow, like this is amazing, like this is memorable. I'm not forgetting this. Holy crap, this music is, man, I'm telling you, one day we're gonna look back on this series, maybe just listening to the music in a live stream or something, and it's just gonna hit. It's gonna hit different. Holy, just the scenery, everything. It made Sojiro straighten up his posture and snap out of his slump a bit.
でも飛び丸、そこに住むって決めても好きになれなかったらどうするんだ。
どうしても好きになれないやつは違う土地に行けばいい。嫌なら逃げてもいいんだよ。放浪するのも人生だぜ。
Sojiro was so impressed by Tobimaru's word he couldn't speak. Wow, I don't know why I read it like that. They gave him a new perspective. It wasn't just the words, don't be scared to run away from a bad place. What had really left a strong impression was Tobimaru's confidence. Although he had been born in this town, he spoke freely of abandoning it.
飛び丸から逃げるなんて言葉が出るとは思わなかった。
逃げる先があるなら逃げてもいいだろって話。
Nah, because you're done hitting me with bangers. Isn't this like the 8th banger Tobimaru has put out like that? Hasn't it always been him? Like, wasn't he in another outro too? Hasn't it always been him? Bro, you're done. You're timeout. Put him in timeout. Technical foul, bro. Why does he keep hitting us with these bangers? There's nothing wrong with running away if you have somewhere to run to. With the music? Oh, I'm gonna burst, bro. What the hell? I'm just gonna cease to exist, bro. What? That's such a fire. That's so good. That's so good.
そりゃ勝ちとか成功とかそういう言葉に固執するのも悪くはねえさ。富と名声はいいもんだしな。だが俺にはどうも勝ち続けるっていうのは固まるってことに見える。息苦しくてしょうがない。青崎みたいにがんじがらめになっても突き進むパワーもねえしな。心情は軽い方がいいだろうよ。
人生は軽い方がいいのか？
いや、軽いとか手堅いとかそういうんじゃなくて、俺はもっとこうロマンあふれるっつうか。
Tobimaru furrowed his brow. Wow, brow. At his inability to find the proper words. What he wanted was simple.
そうだ。俺はきっと笑える人生が送りたいんだ。
Tobimaru is like literally top 3 characters in the game, bro. Holy. That was how he saw life. Tobimaru tried his best to put into words his thoughts, hoping his friend would find them useful.
漫才師か？
Tobimaru's shoulders slumped in disappointment. I got it, Tobimaru. Don't worry, I understand. But even
い
so,
や、そんなもんか。実際。
the more he thought about it, the more he realized that Sojiro wasn't really wrong. There was no end to human desire. The perfect life was an unattainable dream. The only way to really win was to be able to say with your dying breath that you had truly enjoyed living. Stop, bro. Stop. This is supposed to be a random extra chapter. Like, this is not even canon, is it? This is 8.5, bro. This is not even an actual. Stop. Stop. Why are my eyes watering? Stop, bro. Give me a second. Stop. Bruh. Oh, it's hitting different. It's hitting my soul. Right past my skin, right past the muscle, right past my bones, right past my heart. It is hitting my soul right now. The music. Oh my God. Witch on the Holy Night has to be one of the greatest stories I've ever read, bro. This has to be one of the greatest experiences, bro. Like, how do they keep getting me like this, bro? It's so, I'm not wholesome maybe, but like it's so true. Like, it's so real. Like, it feels, it's hard to explain. You're right here with me. Yeah, you're right here with me. You understand. Wow. Let's try to keep pushing.
たく、青崎の影響かね。考えなしのバクとかっていうの。あいつ、ボニー&クライドとか大好きなんだろうな。
Bonnie and Clyde by Hikaru Utada? That song? No? Okay. Toyomaru tiredly scratched his head. He never would have said something like this last year, considering how pessimistic he had been then.
ともかくだ。他人の事情にいちいち落ち込んでるようじゃ日が暮れるぜ。いや、実際もう暮れかけてるけどな。とんだ道草だ。
そうか、引き止めてすまなかった。飛び丸は他に用事が？
俺もおとなしく家に帰るとするか。そっちも日が落ちる前に帰れよ。何をしていたか聞かれたら隠さず事情は説明しとけ。その話、お前が思ってるほどひでえ話じゃねえから。
Sojiro frowned and fell silent. He still hadn't come to terms with his regret. Oh, how am I supposed to be reading, man? I need to turn the music off. Oh, man. Give me a second, please. I'm telling you, this is one of those stories you're gonna look back and be like, damn. He still hadn't come to terms with his agreement with that old arrangement with that old woman yet. If he hadn't gone there in the first place, she might have felt like anything was missing from her life. That feeling of regret was exactly why he wanted to talk to someone.
お前、残酷なことをしたと思ってんだろ。ばあさんの人生に今からじゃ取り戻せないものを見せつけた。どうかな。
Sojiro was stunned into silence. Tobimaru knew exactly what Sojiro
そりゃ違
regretted.
う。思い上がりだぜ、宗十郎。いいか、そのばあさんも自分は人生に失敗したなんて思ってんなら、今の自分にできることをさせればいい。幸い金は腐るほどあるんだろ。なら、思いっきり人助けをさせてみろ。金で救える不幸なんざ山ほどあるだろ。で、ばあさんがどんなもんだと胸を張れたんなら、それは間違いなくいい仕事だ。少なくとも俺は気持ちがいい。
それはおばあさんの苦しみを解決していない。
解決できねえ問題は放っておけ。そのばあさんには今他に解決できる問題があるんだから。
Just
それ
far
がいい
after
じゃねえか。
far,
で
dude. Tobimaru was the smartest motherfucker on earth, bro. I'm sorry I had to curse. I haven't cursed this whole video. I had to. I'll edit it out, bro. There's no.
悪いけどお金はこれから世のため人のため自分のために使うから返しておくれとなったらば、ばあさんの勝ち。偽物の孫なんざよりよっぽどいい生きがいに目覚めたわけだな。
Let me just say this really fast. I don't really have an issue with cursing. It's just that when I don't curse for the entire video and I curse once, it's like I might as well keep it vanilla, you know? Like, I might as well keep it clean. I might as well if I'm already like almost like literally Oh, this music. I'm sorry.
しか
I
し
can't
これ
focus.
で満足したから残りはやっぱりもらっておくれ。といえばお前さんの勝ち。ばあさんにとってはやっぱり孫の方がいいってことで、そん時は大手を振って大金持って帰りやがれ。
なるほど。
Sojiro clapped his hands together. He was finally able to accept these conditions as
す
fair.
まない。ありがとう、飛び丸。
His smile was no longer bitter. He would do whatever he could to help that old woman choose to assist others in need. Tobimaru thought that such unwavering confidence was a sign of true
気
freedom.
にするな。礼を言うならお互い様だ。じゃあな、宗次郎。休み明けにまた学校で。
His goodbye wasn't the friendliest, but Sojiro didn't mind. He ran home with a big smile on his face. Tobimaru's smile was a bit less carefree as he left the footbridge. The time was 4:30 in the evening. Night would soon fall over the midwinter landscape. No way the chapter ends there. Okay, I thought so.
ただいま。今夜はまた一段と冷えるね。
Akko and Alice were both in the drawing room when he returned. Neither of them had eaten dinner yet. Akko looked displeased. Alice sat uncomfortably on the sofa.
あれ、もしかしてこっちの帰りを待っていたのか？
Alice quietly affirmed his assumption. Akko vehemently. I've heard that word so much, and then when you read it, it's like you've heard the word all your life, and then you see it in letter form, and it's like that's not the same word. Vehemently. Oh my, that's close enough. Denied it.
青崎、俺の気のせいならいいんだけど、なんだか昨夜以上にどうかしてない？
Soldier had gotten slightly better at reading the room, but he still had difficulty choosing the right words. I'll show you worked up, was what she wanted to say, but she stopped herself. She wasn't actually all that angry with Sojiro, but
どうかしてるの、青子。
してないわよ。してるのは宗十郎の方だっていうの。
Alice's additional remark seemed to have been the tipping point. Sojiro, I love him so much. Look at it. Oh my god. Sojiro thought this showed she was indeed worked up about something.
しずきくんがどうかしたの？彼、今夜は比較的まともだけど。
Sojiro felt like that was pretty offensive too, but let it slide.
もう分かったわよ。そっちから切り出すまで黙っていようと思ったけど、私の方から聞いてあげる。宗十郎、あんた本物の光って名前に聞き覚えはない？
いや、全く。初めて聞いた。
でしょうね。名簿にあんたの名前はなかったもの。なんだってあんな勘違いしちゃったんだろう。骨折り損とまではいかないけど、また良くない評判立てちゃった。
Akko let out an exaggerated sigh and flopped down into the sofa. Seeing Akko in this weakened state as an opportunity, the blue robin flew jauntily over the room.
見てたっす。自分見てたっす。ご近所じゃもうおひれつきまくりっす。青崎さんとこの娘さんがまた指一本で見せつぶしたとかマジパニー。指先一つでダウンとかどこまで都市伝説作る気っすか。
The robin continued to chatter praise for Akko's deeds of valor. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my god. Akko knocked it away with a flick of her finger and picked herself up off the sofa.
今日はお金持ってないわね。例のアルバイトはもう終わったの？
いや、まだ続いているよ。あのお金は預かり物だから、朝のうちに口座を作って預けておいた。
預かり物？
そう、預かり物。きっと全額返すことになる。
Sojiro took off his coat and began talking about his job as a home helper. he kept it simple, explaining how things begun and the conclusion he'd come to with Tobimaru earlier. Ako seemed stunned by the outlandish circumstances, but in the end,
はいはいやっぱりね。安心したっていうかがっかりしたっていうか。そうよね。どう頑張っても悪事を働ける人間じゃないわよね、あなた。
she was back to her usual offensive self. However, there was another girl in the room who had at this point gone
待っ
pale.
て。ということは、それはしずきくんのお金ではないの？
ああ、人様のお金だよ。
アリス？なんかとんでもない顔してるけど、どうかした？
それがどうかはしてないけど、出前はしたわ。
You live in a mansion. You'll be fine. Can they even bring it to you? I thought they couldn't bring it to you. Alice handed out menus for the local soba noodle shop at the cafe. The blood drained from Alco's face as she took everything in. Alice quietly passed her a small note. On it was hastily written order that was more than enough food for the three of them.
まさかもう注文を？
Bruv, it cannot be that much money. What did you guys do with Sojiro's rent money?
だって
Yo.
ごちそうのタイミングかと思って。
Alice's accusing gaze fell on Sojiro.
え、俺？なんで？
そりゃあんたがいらない期待を持たせたからでしょう。アリス、あんなに喜んでたじゃない。明日はごちそうねって。
Sojiro clapped his hands together for a second time today. He remembered that Alice had said that yesterday.
ええ、あの夜、しずきくんは同意してくれたわ。
Alice was eager to emphasize that this was not her fault.
いや、それは。
そうね。アリスのミスなのは確かだけど、悪いのはあんたもよ。大金を持ち歩くってのはそれだけで危険なんだから。いい教訓になったんじゃない？観念して2人で感情を折半しなさいよ。
いや、それはできない。あのお金は預けてきたし、そもそも500円しか持ってない。
Sheesh, that's like $5. Holy crap.
そう。合わせても足りないわね。試したことはないけど、出前にキャンセルは効くのかしら。
An air of despair fell upon the Kunoji estate. Ako sighed as if none of this was involved her. She hated to coddle them, but perhaps this was her fate.
そうなるか。いいわよ。私が出してあげる。今日は臨時収入があったから、パーッと派手に使いましょう。
Ako's sudden proposal made both Sojiro and Alice break up.
つまり、青崎のおごり。
そんな、信じられない。いいの、青子。
呼んじゃったものは今更止められないでしょ。さっき電話したんなら今頃はもう坂を登ってきてるだろうし。まあそもそもこのお金も宗十郎が発端だしね。人助けをしたら被害者の会からお礼をもらっちゃったのよ。だから気にしないで。なんか居心地悪かったし、錠剤と思って商店街に還元する。本音言うとちょっともったいないけどね。
Her roommates began celebrating. Ako sank back onto the sofa upon seeing the happiness her gesture brought.
ああ、悪戦身につかずって言うけど、ほんとその通り。臨時収入は泡と消えた。
And thus, this curtain closed on a little incident involving a lot of cash. The blue robin flew down on the table once again.
全く嫌な山だったぜ。
The robin chirped and mimicked, puffing on a cigarette.
まあそれはそれとして、青子さんの空回りっぷりを忘れないよう、これをカーモネーギー事件として記録しとくっすね。
The robin continued to laugh at the day's hero. Rip. Robin been tanking on a lot of things. Akko flicked the bird away just as someone knocked on the door. Hey, our feast. Alice had ordered her favorite omelet dish and set of cakes from the cafe.
まあそれなら
Akko was quietly satisfied with the spoils and honest day's work. No shot. Can I just like snaps? I don't know. Dude, everyone, come on. They outdid themselves with that one. They've been outdoing themselves with all of these goddamn chapters. It doesn't make any sense. It literally doesn't make any sense. I did not expect this to finish this in one sitting of a recording. They really caught me right back. Once that little twist was there and Sojiro wasn't working, I'm so glad I pushed on and finished it in one sitting. Holy crap. That had to, I don't know. I can't even say that was one of my favorite chapters because every other chapter is my favorite damn chapter. I don't understand how they keep getting this emotional response out of me. It's like there's a science behind it. Like, not only is the score beautiful, the scenery, the art, the characters, it's everything, man. The writing, it's just so real. It's so good. Like, this is a story. Like, get me, check me out. This is a story about witches and magic and maybe vampires, possibly. I know Tsukihime is about vampires. Possibly vampires. It gets so real. It gets so real. Like that whole chapter had nothing to do with magic. Nothing to do with anything insane. It was just so human. The actual fight. So many good lines. So many good lessons. That was really good. I was not expecting. Once they started doing the little Toby Morrow thing backstory, I was getting tired. I was bored. We got past that part, and then everything after was fire. I don't understand how they did that. Amazing storytelling. Holy crap. I'm so blown aback. That like it keeps happening. Like from Martha to this chapter, it's like these chapters alone. It's like. That's it. That's all I needed. Give me that 2 hours. That's a movie. $60. Like, I mean, this wasn't even 60. This was like 50. That's all I need. Like, that was so good. So many lessons. Such good characterization. Like, that's all I need. But there's like 80 other chapters. Like, it's insane how good each story is. I really advise you. I know you guys read it with me, but read it on your own time sometime. I don't know. Please support Witch on the Holy Night any way you can. I don't know what to say. I was super tired and then it just caught me. I was so ready. That whole bridge scene. Wow. And we actually made it to 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's crazy. Well, there's going to be some editing here or there, so I can't really see that. Maybe we didn't make it there. Maybe we barely made it. Maybe the outro pushes us there, but wow. And then this music to end it. I hope you guys enjoy it as always. The Witch on the Holy Night series keeps blowing my mind. I don't regret starting it at all. I don't regret just doing the impulse purchase and just getting it and starting the series up. I've been enjoying it ever since. And yeah, Youth Birds Eternal. Remember, there's no such thing as hard. Just how long you're willing to fight.
て